it's those two. We also give you the landscape plans at turnover. What they do install is they do have these hose bibs, so they have water irrigation main lines. So when you install an irrigation for the backyard, you'll be able to connect into the pipes that are already there. You'll see there's one all the way back there. There's a steel hose bib popping up at the back fence there. Your future like landscape or irrigation designer, they can connect into those and continue on. So the backflow preventer you'll see is already in, etc.
Okay.
Any other questions there? And then you'll see these as well. Make sure that these do stay uncovered. These are going to be your storm drains.
Okay, sounds good.
And you'll see some drains throughout the yard that act as that.
You got the plan here, which is good, though.
Yeah, but the thing is that it's still not. Oh yeah, they did fix it already, huh? They did fix that. This was not per hour. So like what was wrong is they had like this up and they didn't have a full casement on the actual gate. It looked really cheap. So that's much better done.
Okay, so for the siding, do we need to do any sealing every few years, or
Yeah.
what would you recommend?
So the stain.
I
So
got another
this
sign
is a
right here.
premium product, and this is wood. Okay. So with stain, it lasts 5 to 7 years, and so it doesn't last as long. But if you paint it, it doesn't look as nice. You don't see the wood grain, etc. If you see any peeling, etc., let us know. We'll come take care of that.
Okay,
Like if you see any early peeling.
okay,
Yeah. I do think there's a couple spots where we're already planning on touching up a few of these places.
okay.
And some of it does need to be cleaned like this. Will need to get cleaned off. So. Sorry about that. And then this is a heads up. As a feature, just so you're aware, we do include exterior boxes. Usually they're these massive round bulbous things, but we employ these guys here. If you need to leave something plugged in that sticks out,
You take it out.
this actually goes like that. So it allows it to stay flush if you don't need it. And then there's also a little pathway for the wire to come out. Yeah. And then all of these are protected by GFI at the breaker. I get that question a lot. If something trips, like this this doesn't have power, it's at the breaker. So it's more advanced. Like newer homes will use GFI at the breaker versus at the plug.
Okay.
Okay.
This is your Pioneer heat pump. So this is a 5-ton heat pump. This connects to a unit in the attic, and I'll review that once we get inside. But yeah, this is kind of like a set it and forget it type thing. Not really a lot to go over with this unit. These pipes here, this is a backflow prevention device. So this connects to your irrigation. So like I said, this thing's fully ready. Like this connection and everything is about $5,500 generally. So that's already taken care of. All you need to do is connect onto design your zones in, connect on, and you'll have an irrigation system. This is the hose bib, so you can connect up a hose however you want. You can take that off. That's just like this is just like a model number tag.
Okay.
I guess if you want, I can take it off now. But yeah, so irrigation, and then over here is your fire and you'll need to be careful of that. This connects into your fire system. This connects into your domestic water system. That's your hot water, cold water, all that you'd use at the tap.
Okay. So if we need to shut off water, this two, the left side is the fire, and then the right side is the water main.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay,
And
okay.
you guys will be receiving a homeowner's manual, and there's going to be photos of this with stuff pointing to explain what
I
it
see.
is.
Okay.
Thank you.
And what's this one?
This is irrigation.
I see. Okay.
So this actually runs underneath to this, and then
Okay.
back down out to the little steel hose bibs that you see.
Okay. So in general, we don't need to touch this one.
No, you shouldn't.
Okay.
Where's the output for this one? It's over there.
Yeah, so those, and then you saw the two in the front yard that are connected to the auto.
Okay.
There's actually 3, I think, in the front yard.
Okay, thank you.
And then I make the landscapers always put in the steel above because the plastic actually degrades in the sun.
I see.
So if you ever see that, don't let
Okay.
the landscapers do that.
Okay.
I got a question. So for the outside, like you mentioned, like these are all woods, right? So could it be damaged by some like birds or some like other stuffs, or like insects or something?
Talking about termite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I honestly would have to look into that. The entire but the entire like foundation goes through a series of pest control, and you also have a fully ventilated crawl space with a very thick moisture barrier. So like pest intrusion like termites should be pretty rare. It gets a complete treatment, I'm pretty sure, to like protect against it.
There is termite resistance on to some extent.
I think so. In long term, if you got a lot of like leaking pipe, something like that, you get moisture on your siding. Eventually, you will get termite, but it's not necessarily automatically you're gonna get termite.
I see.
So it would be a good idea just to keep all the pipes or the drainage
Dry.
clear of leaking. So if you see any leaking or anything, you should take care of it right away instead of letting it sit.
Okay, got it.
And also, if there's some sort of leaking right away, call us because there's a warranty issue. That shouldn't be happening. Yeah.
Okay.
Then this here, you should never interact with this. This is code requirement for fire. This is an inspector's test. So to pass fire final, they basically hook up a sprinkler head here, and then they test the pressure and flow rate to match against the designed amount, and then they give you the pass, right? So this is only for inspections.
Okay.
So we shouldn't touch it. That's why there's no like
Yeah. Got
there.
it. Got it.
Okay, and then yeah, this is just the mudroom, which we'll see when we're inside.
No. Thanks.
This is our exterior. I just want to check. There needs to be some touch-ups along the fascia board and the siding there. Make sure we get that.
Do we also have the like window screen on the side?
So no window screens here. We do recommend, we have a shades contractor that has done a few of our projects. I think it's like $18,000 if you want like the full package where you have automated window screens, etc. We can provide that contact to you.
Okay.
Not a problem.
But is it compatible with that, or like it's more like additional stuff?
How do you mean? I'm sorry.
I mean, like when we open the door, like we can open the door fully, right?
Yeah, you can open the door fully.
Yeah, but I think after we open, we also want a window screen to prevent insects going.
Yeah. So that I will actually have to look into for you.
Okay.
We've had a few clients ask about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So that means you need to have a screen that's big enough to cover the
Cover
entire
the
thing.
entire thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But not like building, right? Not like
Not
building.
like a
Okay.
building because
Yeah, it's not something that we currently provide, and we're missing. So there are some things missing here, just FYI. There's actually a trim that's supposed to go along here, so that should be covered.
To cover the white part.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this actually should have like a black piece, and then also it meets the deck a little bit better.
Oh, I
So
see.
that's currently not installed. And then any of the chipping around
Yeah.
the doors, we'll want to take care of. We usually do like a full like evaluation of this area and make sure they clean up the stuff because some of the trim there is damaged, for instance, so they'll need to repaint that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and don't worry, like when you move in, if there's any additional items that you guys find or on the warranty,
Okay.
well, we take care of that. We're not gonna like scurry away. We're not gonna run away. We're very communicative.
Sure.
Yeah, and we want ultimately we also want our customers to be happy. So
Yeah. Sure.
yeah, cool. That's kind of it on this area.
Tyler, I want to ask you. So, is there any reason we are leaving a big gap around the patio?
Yeah, I think there were some design decisions on the architectural side.
Okay.
We're going to be changing this for our future homes.
Okay,
Yeah.
because for us, it's just not convenient to going down that side.
Correct,
yeah.
So,
So this we would encourage you, like if you want, you're more than welcome to obviously add.
okay, so
Yeah,
there's no reason we need to leave the
No.
access to the.
No,
Okay.
I encourage you to cover that. I think it's very unusual. The only other, like what we've seen in this instance before, if you did do a full landscaping, is you would have like a mulch patch here and then you plant shrubs.
Okay.
Like you'd have bushes around,
I see.
which does look a lot nicer. Like
Okay.
I can acknowledge that this does not look great.
Okay.
Cool. All right, so here is your electrical meter. We're currently working on getting PTO for this project, which is permission to operate for solar. This is your main electrical feed. Your electrical comes in the top from the roof, and then comes down here through the crawl space. And there's a main smart EMS panel called the SPAN panel inside. This is for your solar. This is code required. It's an emergency disconnect. Once we get permission to operate from PG&E, you'll be able to flip this on, and we can take care of that process. Meaning you actually won't transfer PG&E into your name until we get that complete. Also meaning that we're going to end up paying your power bill for a few weeks, more than likely. So, but we'll keep in touch and make sure. Effectively, you get free power. So not a lot of people complain about that part. This over here off to the left. So this is where your Comcast or your AT&T is going to be connected to. Do you have do you know which one you're going to go with, AT&T or Comcast?
Don't know. We kind of have Comcast, but we probably eventually want to choose.
Okay. But in our experience, AT&T is a little bit easier to work with, and they'll run it from that power line back there. AT&T will run to that one that's lower. Comcast would use the one that is higher. That's why we put in for both. Okay. And then they run it down through this. This is a direct connection into your crawl space, which is actually a feature of the home. So if you ever want to add electrical outlets, pull cable anywhere, it really allows you to expand or move your house, or like put stuff into your house. Say you wanted an advanced lighting scheme for back here. You could actually pull a new circuit really easily through your crawl space, pop out underneath your deck, and then put in lighting on the exterior, right? So it really is a good feature. And then same thing here, your cable's gonna run underneath. I'll show you where they're gonna be popping out. It's important to show the cable tech the locations. Sometimes they can be a little bit difficult. I've had to be on the phone a few times with the cable techs, like explaining what needs to happen. Okay. But in short, they should be running to here, down through the crawl space, then up into a media panel that's inside the entry closet.
Okay.
When you say cable, you mean the internet guy?
Internet, yes.
Okay.
And the type of cable will depend on who you go with. Comcast will be like an RG6 coax cable, which are like black, and then AT&T usually runs fiber.
Yeah, sounds good.
They have fiber in the neighborhood?
That I don't know. We make it flexible because we build them in different areas, so that's on to the specific project and homeowner.
This is Tyler's favorite thing, by the way.
This is actually one of my favorite features of the home. So what this is it's a plumbing clean out. You'll see these little plates throughout the house. Those are specifically located in case you ever do get a plumbing clog, right? Over 20 plus years, sometimes stuff gets stuck, right? What this is this is the main clean out for the entire first floor. Meaning if you get something stuck on the first floor, this is where it is. The reason why it's a feature and my favorite part is we put it on the outside of our building. A lot of people will put it on the interior or underneath in the crawl space.
Okay.
What that means is that if there is a clog, they have to drag in really disgusting, smelly equipment into your house.
Okay.
This allows them to do it from on the exterior. They only have to pull it through here and connect it.
I see.
Okay.
Cool. This way. And then in terms of hose bibs on the exterior or water hydrants on the exterior, this is the other location directly off the house. Otherwise, you'll have the one sticking out of the front. I think there's also one over there as well. But those, again, your landscaping contractor will be able to connect into for the irrigation, which will save you some money.
Okay. So I think in the title there's a recorded agreement with the water district for the sewer line. I think they said we need to be responsible for the sewer line from the main to the street. Do you know how long is that part?
Yeah, so effectively, pretty sure that's your sanitary. So right here is actually the main cleanout. It's the building. And you could be on the deck. I guess we could have walked up there, but it's right here.
Oh, okay.
So if you ever get a clog from the house to the street, this is where you would clean it out. And then you can see that little circular disc in the middle of the lawn. That's where the city's responsibility should pick up.
Okay. Okay. All right.
And the other thing is, this green bag right here is over a reduced pressure backflow prevention device. It is a mouthful, it's a lot of words. What that is that's required by Cal Water. It's an unfortunate thing, but you do have to get this serviced. I think,
Every year.
yeah, you'll have to check their disclosures and their agreement. But it is here. It's just, honestly, it's a requirement of where you live.
Yeah, so we have one at home. I think they just included in your water bill.
Yeah, usually.
Okay.
What is
Yeah.
this? What is this used for?
It's a backflow prevention device. So effectively, it makes certain that no water can flow back into this to the domestic water service on the street.
Oh, I see. Got
Yeah.
it. Got it.
And for whatever reason, they do require this specific one because it's more robust.
Okay.
If you lived in San Jose, you could get away with one that's smaller, lives in the ground,
Okay.
and you don't have to pay for it. Yeah.
I see. I see.
Oh, sorry. I usually go in the garage. So now going on. Anything else on the exterior? You need to check in.
Remember, look for any blemishes or anything. We're gonna keep note of that. It's also a punch walk. Speaking of which, opener. Usually one on the side here.
Yeah, we should be including. Is it not there?
This is not in there.
Oh, that's definitely a miss. So there should be a garage door opener up
Oh,
by the
right. Yeah.
light
Yeah.
switch.
Yeah.
So yeah, we should, there's a light switch slash opener here. So it's so that way you can open it from there, and you should have the able to open it right here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that should have that.
One of my other favorite features of the house that we have is actually the house lights. These are on a timer. It's an astronomical clock. So we actually put it in the latitude and the longitude of the house. And so it's set it and forget it. This is gonna turn on at dusk when it gets dark. It'll automatically change the time it turns on depending on the time of the year.
Oh, I see.
But it is to a schedule. So right now it turns off at 10 p.m. If you'd like, but the schedules are fully adjustable through this switch right here.
Got it.
So you can put whatever template, you can technically adjust it to every day of the week. There's one other location that this house happens at, and it's for your exterior front lights as well.
Got it.
And you'll be able to do it for whatever. So if I hit this, it'll turn on out here. And anyways, I just really like the way that looks at night. So
Yeah, that's nice.
You're right. We're gonna add a second one here. There should be another one right here as well.
yeah. Thanks for
That's which you're right. That's supposed to be the extra one. The primary is supposed to be right here.
So this is EV charger. We usually leave this not plugged in just because usually people walk and they'll hit it, but this does stick there.
Okay.
We just don't want it to get ripped off. But this is a standard EV charger. Some people do like put a hole in the garage wall to stick it out to charge in the driveway. Otherwise you can charge underneath the door, however you want to do it. Yeah. Or you can pull your car in. All right, so for the main electrical of the house, this is, we call it in our